The music segment editor in Wwise strongly resembles the timeline of a conventional DAW. Just as in a DAW, clips can be freely moved, copied, trimmed, and looped, providing a lot of creative possibilities even after the music assets have been imported into your project. To explore editing clips in Wwise, we'll edit some music already imported into the Cube demo game. Here we see a music segment for the game's combat music displayed in the music segment editor. As we scroll down, we can see the various tracks. The last 3 tracks are rhythm parts that only play for 4 of the 8 bars in this segment. Let's take a listen to them. The reason that only 4 bars are present is because in the DAW, the part was repeated every 4 bars. While they could have been doubled in length before they were exported from the DAW, this would have taken twice the memory. Instead, we can quickly loop a clip within the music segment editor's timeline. This is done by moving the small square icons in the lower corners of the clip. Let's just do that for the main percussion line to extend it to the beginning of bar 9. A vertical dashed line denotes where the clip begins to repeat. Remember that this does not increase memory use in the game, as the same audio source is referenced each time the clip is looped. It's possible to move multiple clips simultaneously by using a marquee selection, but in this case we just want to move the hi-hat and percussion line. So we can hold Control and select them, then move them to start halfway through. In this case, we don't want to hear the percussion line until the last 2 bars. We can also trim loops by dragging the square in the lower corners. So now the last percussion track doesn't come in until the last 2 bars. Now let's take a listen. Now the rhythm line builds over 8 bars, and it didn't take any more memory than when they all played for only 4 bars. The arpeggio track found at the top of the music segment editor provides a synthetic pulse to the music. Let's take a listen. So we'll turn off the solos on the tracks we were just listening to, then scroll to the top, and let's solo this track. Although only one version of this track has been provided, it's possible to make additional variations in order to create more variety for the part. This track has already been configured as a random step music track with a few empty subtracks that we'll use to create variations of the arpeggio track. We'll click the Force Usage button so we can take a listen to it. To make variations, we'll first right-click the arpeggio clip and choose Copy. Now we'll right-click an empty subtrack and choose Paste Clips at Play Cursor. And we'll do this for each of the variations that we want to build. Now we'll enable the Force Usage button on the subtrack we'll be editing. We can hear it currently sounds the same. To make a variation, we'll delete some of the sections of the original part so that it comes in and out every other measure. This can be done by first splitting the single clip into multiple smaller clips, and then deleting the ones that we don't want to hear. You can split clips by positioning the play cursor at the location where you want to divide a clip. Right-click the clip we're going to modify, and choose Split on Play Cursor. Notice the key command is the letter S. Now we can repeat the process of splitting the clip using the S key command at every bar. Now we can go back and select the clips we don't want to hear, holding the Control key to select discontiguous clips. To delete them, press the Delete key. Note that for Mac users, hold the Function key when pressing Delete. As the arpeggio comes in and out, the transition may feel a bit abrupt. You can resolve this by using fades. This is done by dragging the clip fade in and fade out handles in the upper corners of each clip. On the first clip, we'll drag the fade in handle to the right and the fade out handle to the left. You can even right-click the fade curve, and you can choose from various curve types to suit the transition. But we'll leave this with the default. Now we just need to repeat this for the remaining clips. Let's take a listen. Now we can hear how the arpeggios will smoothly enter and exit the mix. It's also possible to do more complex automation of a music track's volume, low-pass, and high-pass filters using the same type of offline breakpoint automation used in DAWs. Let's use this to create a filter sweep on the third variation of the arpeggio music track. So we'll go ahead and set the force usage button on it to hear that play. To accomplish our goal, we're going to need to take a look at the envelope buttons at the top of the music segment editor. Enabling these buttons provides a way to manipulate those properties over time. First, there's the low-pass filter, which is represented by a dark blue line on a clip, high-pass represented by a lighter blue, and then volume represented by the red line. Let's change the high pass on the third variation of the arpeggio. We see a light blue line at the bottom of every clip. When the line is at the bottom of a clip, it means that the high pass filter has no effect. To change the value of the filter, you can move the line by dragging the control points that are currently found at either end of the line. If we drag this up, this means that the value of the high pass filter is increasing over time. Let's take a listen. We hear that over time, the lows get filtered out to where we only hear the high frequencies, and eventually nothing at all. Instead, we want the lows to fade away and then later return. To do this, we're first going to drag this control point back down. Then let's add a control point by double-clicking the line at measure 9, and then add another at measure 5. We'll drag this one up, but not all the way. We can also right-click the line to pick a curve to smooth it out. Now let's take a listen. We can hear the lows fade away and then they return.